Okay guys, today's video we're going to cover a few things here. First of all, I'm going to show you in our current bull run where we are compared to our previous bull run. I'm going to show you potentially how high this could go, and if it's possible, if we crash down, if we could crash down to the 20-week moving average, it'd be about a 30% drop. We're going to cover that. Also, we're going to cover the New York Stock Exchange. I'm going to show you the next big move for PayPal. I'm going to give you some targets for Binance Coin. I'm going to show you some published charts I recently added to the website so you can see how they played out. Guys, if you want to access these charts, if you visit my website, opticalartcrypto.com, the link will be in the description, pinned to this first comment. I have tutorials teaching you my method that I came up with. So you can chart exactly like I do if you want. I'll teach you everything that I taught myself. If you do lifetime, you get access to everything. $39 a month gives you access to Bitcoin, altcoins, precious metals, and Discord. Stocks, that's just stocks if you want to pay $59 monthly. But again, $2.99 gives you access to everything, but I have a Black Friday special going on through Sunday. If you want to get 20% off, it takes it down to $240. I'm still offering that through Sunday, guys, so you'll need to contact me through the contact page. My email address is there. If you want to take advantage of the Black Friday special, email me. So let's go ahead and get into this. By the way, guys, my Twitter is now private. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you will have to send a request. And I'm only accepting new people to follow me on Twitter if you are subscribed to my charts. So you'll need to email me. I'll verify you have an account, and then I will accept your request. But guys, let's just get into this. So let me show you how I played this before we get into the bull run stuff and where we're located. I just want to give you some price targets. So right here, I bought in right at this point. Let me give you a price label here. So I bought in at this point, and I knew this would be support, guys, because this was previously support. Bounced off of it, had a wick down, but we're bouncing off this point. So I know if we came down, this would be a likely support level. Yeah, it was a gamble, it could come lower, but I bought here, and I rode it up to this point, and I sold right when we hit this line, expecting us to get rejected. We did temporarily, but we pushed above it. I could have stayed in and made more profit. I'm glad I sold because we came down. I bought back in right here. As probably about 18,650 is when I bought in, and I'll show you there's two other charts that showed this was strong support. That's why I bought in. I should have sold here just like I did here. I did not. I decided to chance it and stay in. I had my stop loss set 1% higher, so I got stopped out at 18,900. So I'm currently out at the moment. But let me give you your resistance right here. Your resistance that we're having a hard time getting above 19,227. If we push up, guys, your next resistance to watch is going to be 20,230. So pay attention to that. Write down that number. And again, if we drop, so right where I bought in back here, if we drop, your next support is going to be right here, around potentially 18,233. And then you got support below that, just below it, this blue ring, which is around 18,152. This has been a lot of support as well. If you want more support resistance levels, guys, access the charts. This is another chart I use a lot. Notice right here, this green line. This just happened to be, it was right on par with that other chart. So I had three charts telling me this was a point to buy in. That's why I bought in here. Notice we're respecting this white fib circle. Notice we find support on it. We pushed up, found resistance, came back down. We're still finding resistance. So we're having a hard time getting above this ring. And this is currently at, right here, 19,243. And your support right here. This is going to be support as well. You drop down 18,139, and then you got the ring below, right here, 17,093. This is the third chart I was using. This is also what I used to potentially, to find out where I'd buy in at support. Because I had three charts showing this was strong support, this is where I bought in. And I came down, it pushed up a bit, I bought in right at 18,650, wrote it up. Again, I wish I would have sold, but I chanced it. Again, that's what I'm saying, if you don't take your profit, you can lose all those potential gains you would have had. But the most important thing on this chart here, again, all of my charts, when I show videos or make tweets, I give the chart name so you know which chart to load up. But if we do push up, guys, so currently your support right now on this chart is 18,619. If we push up, I want you to take note of this yellow line right here. That's right there at 20,180. We have been respecting this yellow line going a pretty good ways back since I think October 2nd. Yeah, back here October 2nd. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We hit it again and got rejected. And then we hit it again and got rejected. So if we push up, a likely point to get rejected is going to be this yellow trend line. So roughly 20,180 depending on when you hit it. If we drop, guys, a very likely support level is going to be this red ring. We've been holding support and resistance, support and resistance, support, 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 support. So if we come down, guys, a first target to hit, if we come down, is going to be this ring. When we come down and make contact with this ring, I will be buying right here. So that's just for a larger target. Now, there is a larger target even further down than that, which we are going to cover. But before we get into that, though, I just want to show you real quick. So this is that chart I showed you. I just want to show you how this played out, just so you can see that, you know, these charts do actually play out. Notice right here's where I bought in, right here's where I sold. We came down and found support right here. We pushed up. This is a target I gave you. Came down, found support, pushed back up. Now we're coming down. This is the other chart. And like I was saying, this would be your support. So you can see how this played out. It came down. This was the support. This is where I should have sold, but I stayed in. And let me show you. So this is BNB coin. And this is pretty interesting. So and this is just a recent chart I put up. I just added this, so we'll load the actual chart up. But let me show you this right here. Notice we're respecting this white fib circle. And guys, again, I teach you this method. If you want to learn how to do this, create these charts. I teach you from scratch how to do it. But notice respecting this white fib circle. This resistance, support, resistance, resistance, more support. You see, it came down, found perfect support on this white ring. So it makes sense. We're going to ride up this white ring. So if I hit play, look what's happening here. Right now, you can see that when we pushed up, look where we got rejected. I know this is published version, it's kind of hard to see here, but when we pushed up, we got perfect rejection in this fib channel line. So you knew when you hit this point to potentially sell. Pushed back up, got rejected, came back below resistance. Look what happened. We pushed right up to the next resistance level. So if we push above this point, where are you going to get rejected? Well, if it goes up, you know, since you're expecting this white fib circle, well, your first rejection point would be this fib channel line here or here, potentially $35.46. You know for a fact you will get rejected at $37.88, depending when you make contact. But the great thing about this is if we stay within this ring, this will be a pivot. As soon as you cross this ring, you can get a pivot to go up to this target here, $40.84. Or if we drop, we can come down to this target here. So this is BNB coin. Let's see, I did some other ones. I added Pfizer to the website as well because they had the vaccine. I added BioNTech because they have a vaccine as well. I figured it'd be nice to play these. Let me see how this one did. Let me hit play on this. These are pretty recent charts here. So if I hit play, so you can see this is on the daily. It just is, we're finding resistance underneath these rings, and that's what I'm telling you. Pay attention to these yellow rings. If we drop, your first drop target is this yellow ring. Your resistance is this ring. If you push up, we could ride up this ring to this target up here, potentially $42.56. Let's see here. This was one I did recently, and I posted on Twitter. This was a fib circle I added, saying that potentially when we cross this ring, we're finding resistance here. Actually, that was this chart I was showing you earlier. We're finding resistance here. As soon as we cross this ring, I expected it to drop. You can see how it played out. We did come down. We're ultimately finding support, and as we push back up, still finding resistance at this ring. This is Libra. Let me zoom in on this here. The white rings, what you're paying attention to. Notice that we find support in the white ring, resistance to the white ring. We come down, we find resistance to this white ring, find support. If I hit play, notice we're pushing up, we're respecting the fib channel lines and the rings. The rings are points to get reversals, guys. So notice what happened. We pushed up, we got rejection right here at this fib channel line. See, this was resistance right here. So this was resistance again and again. Now we're finding resistance under this fib channel line. If we push up, your target is 0.0052. If we drop, your target is 0.00346. And let me zoom out. Eventually, these support and resistance levels will become pivot rings when you get way out to the right. For instance, notice this blue ring. We crossed this blue ring, we dropped. We crossed the blue ring, we dropped. So it's possible if we continue sideways, bouncing back and forth, we could cross this blue ring, get another drop. So again, that's what I'm saying. You have support and resistance rings, and then you have pivot rings. This is PayPal. Now this is very interesting. If I load this up and play it out, notice that I had this this red line here representing our resistance, and this red line was our support. But notice we're riding up this ring. We're respecting this white fib circle completely, going way back since July 22nd. So if I hit play on here, look what happened. We pushed up. and got rejected right at this ring. Pushed up, got rejected at the ring. So if we continue down or across, now I'll need to load this chart up. I can't show the date here, but I'm expecting a major move for PayPal as soon as we cross this ring. So let me go to this here. Let me go to stocks. Let me load this up so I can give you the date for that. This is, let's see, PayPal. So right here is the chart, and you can see that we pushed up this ring. We broke out of this pattern. This was obvious. If I zoom out and show you the bigger picture here, you can see this was our resistance, this was our support. We broke to the upside, and we are respecting this fib circle. And with this is on the 2 hour, so this actually could happen today. There's 29 minutes left in this candle. We're going to cross this ring in potentially 4 hours, maybe, well, I guess before market close, we'll have to see. But between today and tomorrow, we could have a major move for PayPal. And if you look at how it respected these rings previously, you see it found support here, pushed up, got rejected. So the same thing happened here. It could get rejected, come down. We crossed it, we came down. We crossed this white ring, we came down, found support here. So we could cross this white ring, potentially push up to this ring. So if PayPal crosses this and pushes up, your next resistance is $230, potentially, wherever you make contact. Or if we come down, your next support would potentially be this ring down here. This could be $189 to potentially $195. So pay attention to, again, if you have access to PayPal, or even if you don't, load up a ticker for it, but pay attention. Something's going to happen today or potentially tomorrow, or, when markets open. But again, when we cross this ring, I expect something to happen. I'll give you an update what happened with this chart. So let's see how high Bitcoin could potentially go, and let's actually compare where we currently are in our current bull run compared to our previous bull run. Let me go, let's see, access charts. I'm going to click on Bitcoin. So the first thing I want to do is I want to load up this Bitcoin rising wedges chart here. So in the last video, or a few videos back, we were caught in this pattern. Every time we hit this red ring, we get rejected. We hit this red ring, got rejected. So it made sense, if we hit this red ring on a rising wedge, we probably get rejected again. I said if we push up, a likely target to get rejected is this orange ring. Guys, that's the same orange ring I showed you on that chart previously. Right back, this chart here, that's this orange ring. Notice that we got rejected at it. We came back up. Now we're finding support. So, I gave you a target if we pushed up. If we did not push up, we broke to the downside. I thought the 20-week was likely. So, guys, if we do come down, if we test, this is the 20-week. I'm on the 3 hour, but I have this set up as the 20-week. If we drop and we come down and test that 20-week, if we drop all the way down to it, that would be a 38% drop. Obviously, I don't expect that to happen. This is continue to move up. I think I do know where this 20-week will be if we do come down and drop to it, and I'm going to show you that in the peak of the bull run chart. But I just want to make you aware that, and that's what I'm saying, our first major support, look how well we've been respecting this fib circle. I mean, we've been finding support and resistance on it going way back. Hit it, rejected, hit it, rejected. Hit it, we got rejected, but then we found support on it. So likely target, if we come down and drop below this orange ring, your first support's 18,600. If we drop below that, again, right here around 16,636. But again, if you go back and you look at these at our bull run, let's go to the weekly here, and let's get everything off of this chart. I mean, this is how it works. When you're in a bull run, you come down and you test the 20-week. This is our previous bull run. We push up, test the 20-week. Push up, test the 20-week. So on, so on, so on. So right now, that is currently what we're doing. We push up. We didn't quite make it to it. We pushed up. We found support. So, eventually this is going to come back down and test the 20-week. Wherever this is at, even for us to continue our bull run, it seems likely we would come down. Now, it's possible it continues to push up. I'm going to give you targets. If it does continue up, we're going to cover that as well. I just want to make you aware that it's possible we could have a pretty substantial drop if we come down and test this. Now, I think this target's going to be around 13,500. So I think it's going to do something like this. And you ask, well, how do you know it's going to be 13,500? I'll show you that in just a bit. For the peak of the bull run chart, I'm going to show you where we're at. And actually, if you look at this chart, I think where we're at in our bull run is right here. And you say, well, how do you know currently where we're at is right here? Well, guys, I made a video where I created the chart. Let me load this chart up and show you. So this is called Peak of the Bull Run 2.0. So in this chart, I want you to pay attention to this here. So I'm going to remove some stuff so it's not too overwhelming. Let me hide this. Let's get rid of this. Actually, I do need that. Okay, so if you'll notice right back here, so this is all one fib circle here. You've got your orange, you got your orange ring, you got 2 yellow rings, you got your orange ring here, 2 yellow rings. So this was our peak in December, back on December the 2nd to December 2013. This was resistance, support, 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 resistance, 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 support, resistance, pushed up as resistance, support, resistance, pushed up, almost made it to the orange ring, got rejected, came back down, respecting these fib channel lines. We pushed up, we got rejected, and then we pushed above it right here. So this is playing out, it seems almost identical to what's happening here. If you'll notice, I'm going to leave this so we can see both. So look what happened here. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, drop below it, came up as support, resistance, resistance, support, support, crash, we came down, this is COVID crash, we came down to support, pushed up, support, pushed up, look, we almost made it to it, just like back here, almost made it to the orange ring. Finally, we pushed up as resistance. Let me zoom in a bit. So finally, we pushed above it, and this is what I'm saying is possibly going to happen. We found resistance, we pushed above it. Now I have these bars copy and pasted from a previous bull run, but if it plays out how the previous one played out, which it looks like it probably will, if we come down, you know, like last time in our previous one, let me get rid of these squigglies here, but just to show you, the last time we pushed above the orange ring back here, when we pushed above the orange ring, we found resistance, we pushed above it, we came down and we tested it. So I'm saying it's very possible that we could come down and we could test this orange ring. And if we do, that target is going to be potentially right at, you know, if we drop sooner, 13,551. If it takes longer, 13,358. So I think when we come down and test the 20-week, now it's possible we continue up, guys. Your next fib channel line above is right here at 21,259. You have a ring up here at 22,643. Obviously, we continue up. Just because it played out a certain way in our previous bull run doesn't mean it has to play out the same here. But if it does, and guys, look at this MACD here. I mean, look, we pushed up. You know, we were only up at, well, this is showing, you know, 399. This is when we came down. You know, we were up here at 616. You know, it kind of went sideways. We pushed up, and we had a pretty big drop. Guys, we are way up here. This is showing 1,345. So, and you can see the MACD, the RSI is starting to come down. So I think it's likely, if we're as high up as we are, that at some point this is going to start coming down, and it just seems like this would be a point it would do it. Now again, it could go higher, guys. I'm just showing you that it seems likely if we do drop. I think this is where the 20-week moving average is, so I think it is possible we could start heading back down to test this. Once that happens, you do not want to miss it. If this holds, this is the point you want to buy in to potentially keep riding this up, because that might be the lowest point we ever see again. If we do break that, then, you know, hey, we could be going a lot lower. But, you know, if the stock market doesn't crash and it continues to rally, I don't see why this wouldn't continue on. But keep in mind, that is still a drop of at least 30% just to test this point. And I do think that's where the 20-week will be at. That's if we do not break. Let me refresh this chart. That's if, again, our first line of support is going to be this red ring right here. Again, let me give you that target right here. 16,621, and then I think that point where the you put this right here, so 13,500. So I think this is where our 20-week moving average will be when we make contact. So I think it's going to continue up like this, and I think we are eventually going to come down and test it. So one scenario, we come down, we find support, we continue up. Second scenario, we come down, we break it, and we make contact somewhere down here and then continue up. Now there is a ring right here, guys. I'm not giving you the date for this ring. If you want to know when the date for this is, you'll need to get access to my charts, but I do expect one major move when we hit this blue ring. I'm keeping this close to the vest, but you can see here, every time we cross this blue ring, we just so happen to break the 20-week moving average. We cross this blue ring right here. This blue ribbon here is the 20-week. We cross it, we drop. We cross the blue ring, we break the 20-week, we drop. The next blue ring is coming up. It is not long before we hit that. I'm expecting a major move and get to this point. This also ties into, well, how high could we push up? Well, if we do push up, your target above, let me show you. So we are respecting this blue flip circle. So if we pushed up, a likely target, right here is 37,248. Out here is 34,000. We will respect this blue flip circle is as resistance and support. When we cross it, it can be a pivot. That's the one I'm waiting for when we cross it. Let me load up the Cme Futures Chart. This also gives you potential targets as well. So if you'll notice, when we pushed up, we found perfect resistance at this ring right here. I know it's gray, it's kind of ghosted. We found resistance right at this ring. If we can't make it above this, now this is one reason that I think it's possible we're topped out. Multiple charts showed me that it's possible we're topped out. It just showed you a peek of the bull run chart. Seems like we're topped out, potentially come down and at least test that red ring, or potentially the 20-week. But if we push up, look, we've been respecting this yellow fib circle. And this is a Cme Futures chart. Look how well we're respecting this fib circle. Again, just like I showed you with PayPal and other charts. Perfect resistance, came down to support, came down, pushed back up to support, resistance, support, became support and resistance. Look, as soon as the market opened, look at this. It closed underneath, opened above it. We got topped out here, got some resistance, found support. This is the next white ring. This is the next yellow ring. This is 23,590. If we push above that, look at that. That's in confluence with the other chart. This would be around 33,410. If we push above that, this next ring, hey, this is potentially 40,000. So these are targets to the upside, but it seems likely, we'll get some resistance right here at 23,590. And again, if you're super bullish, guys, this could push all the way up to 32,000. So I'm just giving you some different ways I'm looking at this, but we are finding a hard time getting above this ring. And this is the next white ring, guys, right here, that we've been respecting. We came up, got perfect rejection at it. Came down, found support and resistance. This is the next ring. We got rejected. So it's possible we could start coming down. So again, that's one reason. The other thing that we need to pay attention to is the actual stock market itself. Now, it's been pushing up, guys. I thought the stock market would crash a long time ago. It just kept pushing up and pushing up. If it does, if we don't get a crash and we continue up, then again, I don't see why, even if we do continue up, I do think it's possible to come down and at least test that 20-week moving average. But again, if the stock market continues to rally and continue to make new highs, yeah, I think we're on track to potentially hit that target. And guys, in that peak of the bull run chart, my target that I gave you is in December. I didn't move this, but my target is in December, the 28th of December 2021, $337,758. If we don't get a stock market crash, I do think we're on target to hit that point. But again, it does depend on the stock market. Let me find this here. If the stock market does come down, we've seen how correlated Bitcoin is with the stock market. If we push up, your resistance for the Dow currently is 30,252. Notice this red ring right here. This is, a while back, this is where I put my short, because we were finding support in this red ring. I knew if we came up, hit this, we get rejected. We came down, we pushed up a bit, we came down. Notice we're respecting this orange ring. We come up as resistance. You can see these are orange rings here that kind of ghosted. This is resistance. We found support, resistance, pushed up to the next ring. Next orange ring was resistance, support, orange ring again, resistance, came down to the orange ring again as support. We pushed above this ring. So if we push up, your next target, if you go by these red rings, your next target is 31,310, respecting the white rings as well. So again, these are just targets, for the Dow Jones. You can see we're respecting all these fib circles. So what I'm saying is, it's possible we could get topped out 31,396. potentially come down. We could be topped out now, but these are targets that we've been respecting. Again, this is the chart I used to predict the last crash for the stock market. And, I didn't know how correlated the stock market was with Bitcoin until after that crash happened. I did have this was a chart. This was the original chart I was predicting the Dow Jones crash. I posted this back in January 7th. These were the targets I gave. It seemed likely that the stock market was going to crash. That's why I created this chart and I was showing, hey, these are our targets. We came way down below. We hit this ring. It just so happened I had made another chart for Bitcoin predicting that it was going to crash, because every time we cross the yellow ring, drop, cross yellow ring, drop, cross yellow ring, drop, rode up this yellow ring. As soon as we crossed it, it made sense. Cross it, we drop, and that's what happened. This was my first peek of the bull run chart. If I zoom in on this, guys, this is how I was able to call the bottom. And keep in mind, this red fib circle right here was created off of that projected target of around $330,000 in December 2021. Without that target, I could not have found this fib circle, and that fib circle helped me nail the bottom. If you follow me on Twitter, you were there when I said, hey, I'm buying at 3,900. Instantly, it shot right back up. That was the bottom. So guys, what I'm getting at is I never knew how correlated Bitcoin was with the stock market until after all of this happened. Now we know if the stock market comes down, Bitcoin comes down as well. So, don't get complacent. People think that the stock market is just going to continue up and continue up. It might, guys. We're in the midst of a pandemic. Now, I know that, you've got, look, Bank of America is partnering with Ripple. You got PayPal now. You can access Bitcoin, which is kind of scary. People are using PayPal to buy Bitcoin, and they can't set a stop loss. Imagine millions of people buying, $1,000 worth of Bitcoin. All of a sudden, it tanks. They have no way to protect themselves. But I get it. There's a lot of FOMO. So you know what? It's probably safer to be in than not be in. But practice some risk management. Have a stop loss set. And guys, do not forget, the economy is totally, here in the U.S. at least, is totally disconnected from the stock market. Look how many cases we're getting per day. On November 20th, we had 198,633 cases in one day. As far as deaths, on November 24th, we had 2,216 deaths. This is just getting higher and higher and higher. So what I'm saying is, yes, Bitcoin is, people are FOMOing in, it's going up, but it is correlated with the stock market. So guys, I know this is running a little long. I just want to show you really quick, just comparing gold, the stock market, and Bitcoin. I'm going to go to precious metals here, and I'm going to load up the gold chart. So, and I'll just give you some price targets for gold real quick. I've been talking about this white ring. Notice every time I hit it, support. Hit it again, it was support. We finally broke it. Notice we're riding right down this yellow ring. So your next target for gold, if it comes down, your first fib channel line is right here at 1,770, and your next support right here is 1,754. Potentially gets bounced, pushed back up. But again, I have metals as well, but I'm going to clear everything off this chart. I just want to show you real quick. So let's go to the 1 day here, and let's go to where, gold's really coming down. But let's go back to when we had our crash, and this would be actually right here. So let's look at how much gold. Now, here's the thing. Bitcoin is a great performing asset. The gains in Bitcoin have been better than the stock market, better than gold, better than anything else. But what I want to point out, so here's gold. This is where gold crashed. This is the Dow Jones. Let me clear everything off this chart. Let's go to where we crashed back here. Let's put this on the daily. So this is where we had our COVID crash for at least for the Dow Jones. This is for gold. And let's look over at Bitcoin. So I'm going to clear everything off of this chart. And let's go to, we're on the daily here. So let's compare. So right here, this is where I had a COVID crash for Bitcoin. So when the Dow Jones crashed, it crashed a total of, let me move this up a bit. It crashed a total of 38%. So if you were in stocks in the Dow Jones, it would drop 38, a little over 38%. If you were in gold, gold crashed a total of 14.5%. If you were in Bitcoin, it crashed a total of 63%. So if you were in gold, you would have been safer than if you were in stock market or the Bitcoin. Now, yeah, Bitcoin has pushed up like crazy. The gains are insane. It's up here around, we were already up 403%. My point is, if the stock market drops again, why would it be any different? You would be safer in gold. If this drops 50%, you know, that's going to bring you down a pretty good bit. Even if you come down 30% to come down to 20, to test the 20-week. All I'm saying, guys, if we have a stock market crash, we could have a major crash for Bitcoin. Stock market continues up and sideways, you know, we're golden. Then we're on track to hit that target. You know, like I said, around 330,000. And that will be, guys, if it plays out just like it does, I think we're potentially going to be topped out. Maybe we're not, but if we do, I think we'll come down. We'll test this ring around 13,400 potentially, start pushing up, and guys, we're on track to hit 337,758, right around there, and that will be on December 2021. So, guys, I know this ran long. Again, if you do want to take advantage of that Black Friday special, just make sure you click on the contact page and contact me for 20% off. Otherwise, if you want to just go through the website, just click on subscribe. But again, all these charts play out live. You just click the link and they load up. You can access the website. It's octobarcrypto.com. The link will be in the description and pinned in the comments. And remember, if you do want to follow me on Twitter, you will have to send me an email. But guys, that's it. Till next video.